I kind of miss the introductory talk,
All
but
right.
I glimpsed a little bit at the end, and I wanted to talk about something a bit different
Yeah,
because when I saw the YouTube clip come up, Lisa Cairns is live. The
yeah.
title, let me put up the title. What is it? Love is what the humans seek, not enlightenment or no self.
Yeah.
Um, that a lot of fear came up,
Oh, yeah.
a lot of fear in the belly.
Oh,
I was
wow.
like,
That's interesting.
yeah, because uh, I'm not really sure why, because a lot of the time something comes up, but it's like lots of because of the way we think, lots of you could like put it in lots of different ways, and there are lots of like separate little reasons for one thing coming up. But
Mm.
I wanted to talk about the fear aspect,
Mm.
the fear, because I felt the fear, especially when I read Love and Not Enlightenment. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that must have something to do with like a trauma or something. I don't know,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
especially in this period, um, lots of stuff's coming up.
Yeah.
And I'm having so many dreams at night. Like, every time I go to bed, I dream some like old trauma, and it's like, oh no, and I wake up and I'm like, damn it, I didn't even sleep.
Yeah. 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 Totally. Yeah. So that's really interesting, and that you feel it in the sacral. That's what I would call sacral chakra, like the lower belly.
Yeah,
So I won't go into it too deeply with you today because sometimes it can be traumatizing for people if I expose them too much on the internet. And when we're doing it, it might not um, be realized that it's traumatic, but afterwards the person feels trauma, which is
oh,
understandable because it's like very personal, these things, and sometimes we don't realize when we're oversharing. So I won't go into it
right,
too deeply, but I'll just speak more speculative and more on the surface about it. But it will
yeah,
give you ideas of things to look into.
yeah,
So um, the sacral chakra, to me, is about a combination of feeling strong and feeling grounded and feeling like you are in this life, like
are worthy.
yeah, you're worthy, you're strong, you're capable of finding work, you're capable of providing for yourself,
Yeah,
your creativity, sexuality, and it's also love. Like sexuality and love are the same. You know that
mm,
like sexual energy is normally the root chakra and the sacral chakra, and that when you really go beyond like just pleasure sexuality, like
yeah,
that sexuality is like real intimate love, like it's
mm,
real intimacy with another, like beyond you and them, you and other. um, what happens in um, life is that we get traumatized by people, and we also have a personality structure that is reflective of our upbringing. And so if you maybe you had good parenting on whole, but there might have been areas that were missing. So they might not have been very good at showing affection or showing love or showing intimacy to each other.
yeah,
So they
yeah,
might
yeah.
have
No,
been
no,
single.
I got it now. I got it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and so then we internalize that. So
yeah,
then what we do when we get into spirituality, even though we're not conscious of it, we actually seek that because it's an element of our personality and our character that is missing. So then we seek to
oh, yeah,
get love. So we seek that in waking up experience, but we're not conscious of that.
yeah.
So it's like our on the
Please
person,
love me and make me
yeah,
feel safe.
on the yep, totally, and on the personality level, that is the most important thing. Please love me and make me feel safe.
Yeah,
But then on the absolute level, what we are is love. So it's like these two really touch very intimately, because when you feel loved and you feel safe with people, often the seeking disappears. So there can
yeah.
be a touching on that
Yeah,
oneness.
that's why people like to be in groups, you know.
Yeah,
People love me in groups.
yeah,
I love the group. I must protect the group and attack all those who offend the
yeah,
group.
yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah, and so when you have that experience of bonding, then you can have a sense of non-duality, because you stop seeking in that moment. You feel safe, you feel secure, you feel loved. And then there is a touching on that bigger love. And so when I spoke about love, it might bring fear to you, because in your childhood, this is something you could do and you connect by yourself. There wasn't maybe such a strong sense of that, or there was trauma in that. There's all these different things, or it's just a society thing. It might have been something that happened with friends or education. And so therefore your idea of love, like your way of dealing with it, might be fear. But again, that's something for you to look in and just know the difference. So know very clearly the absolute love is not the same as the personal love, and these often get so mixed up. The person is seeking for human love, but truly what it wants beyond that is the impersonal love. So it's like in those moments where you get what you want, it begins to disappear, and there is the impersonal love. And we get this so confused, because I know for myself, like I used to project onto like awakened figures in personal love, and I used to project on awakening or enlightenment like this parent love, this human love, this human unconditioned love, because that on the human level was my deepest desire, and it was so strong. And then I thought that was what enlightenment was, because there is the taste of the impersonal love in it. And then there is the confusion. On the human level, awakening or not awakening, we're always going to seek to be safe in the group and to be loved in the group. But on the absolute level, what we seek for is, or not on the absolute level, but what we truly seek for is the absolute, is that which is beyond.
I liked it when you mentioned the past trauma things. It made me it made some stuff come up in my head which I hadn't thought about when I was little.
Yeah.
I never really think about when I'm little, but now I was like, oh yeah, maybe that's connected to that, and
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
that's why, because of that, and then it's
And then the personality grows, and then like there is this going in and out, like seeking for that which is beyond the human love, and then seeking for the human love. Most people in our society, I think, are deeply seeking for human love.
yeah. I think I read somewhere where like it was a video about some customer service thing, and the people that were complaining and going, your product stinks, and blah blah blah, right? They didn't even care about getting the problem fixed. All they wanted was somebody to talk to.
Yeah, yeah. I think our society is deeply lonely, partly because of the way our society's gone.
It's
Like,
made, the way it's made, it's too big.
yeah, it's too big, and it's like broken away from like more family or friends orientated to more impersonal. And then also because you disconnected from the big self at a very young age, so there is this loneliness on the more existential level, and then there's the loneliness that's actually manifesting because of the way our society is at the moment.
Yeah.
It's too different. Yeah. I think that would be the biggest complaint of most people in society, is loneliness.
Yeah, I remember when I was a teenager, and I had this thing where this socially conditioned construct in my mind where I had to be going out all the time. Have to go out, have to go out, have to go out, have to go out.
Yeah.
And I felt like, I'm sure you've heard of FOMO, fear of missing out. And I had this such strong FOMO every time I didn't go out.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because I hated it. It's like I was like forcing myself to do something that I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
It was great, yeah.
Yeah, then you end up exhausted, like pushing your body too far.
Yeah, I was doing that. I had like 5 million things going on,
Yeah.
5 million different projects,
Yeah.
constantly thinking about this, constantly thinking about that,
Yeah.
and I was just exhausted all the time. And the thing is, um, people thought I was doing great when I was like that, you know? Like, I hated it, but people were like, yeah, go on, you're doing this, you're doing that.
Yeah.
And people would come up to me and say, man, I'm jealous of you, man. You got so much stuff going on.
Yeah.
Like, no thanks.
Yeah. No, totally. It's what our society respects in some weird way. Gets mixed up with consumerism. Yeah. Funny.
Well, I think that's it, to be honest. I wanted to talk about the fear mostly, like
Yeah, I
the
think we could go into it so much deeper. I just don't want to go into it too personally online, but I think there is a lot of things that you could explore. Maybe you have someone or you know someone that you could explore, like the energy that's in there. You could look up attachment theory as well. That might be interesting for you.
what's that?
It's just about attachment in early
Oh,
years.
like children and
And the way that you attach to your parents as well. But also if someone can explore the energies there with you, like going into it, feeling it, letting it speak out, like what it wants to say, like letting the child speak, letting the adult speak, like just seeing what's in there, like an exploration. It's interesting.
Oh yeah, kind of a little bit like a psychologist thing.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they also so psychologists and also like Kundalini workers as well, like because you kind of like put your attention there and it's kind of you fix your attention there, and they say that each chakra has a psychology, so you kind of like focus in on that psychology and that energy of the chakra.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's so much stuff to explore, you know?
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah, and that's on the human level. So on the human level, we can infinitely expand. It could be endless, the possibilities of the human. But then there is something beyond all of this, and that is like the end of seeking, the end of looking for something else. And that is your essence. That is that which is experiencing right now. It's not the character or the personality that's experiencing. It's that which is unspeakable. It's that, you could call it consciousness or aliveness, which is experiencing and looking and hearing, and that is who you are.
I noticed that it's mostly, when it comes to the enlightenment thing, I noticed that it's mostly a question of tension. It's like there's a massive amount of like separation and tension in the body, and that's what like slowly drops.
Yeah.
But the empty looking thing, like that has nothing to do with the process of enlightenment, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because the body's just separate. The body has to do its own thing.
Yeah, that's a nice realization. Yeah.
So it's kind of like when you try to improve the character. I like to think of it as a self-development. That's the term I use in my head.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that process gets converted and perverted by society. It's like that drive, but just perverted, and that's what all the stuff is about.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I got a bit distracted then. Somebody just called in, another person.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, so can you just say that last part again?
Yeah, it's like the drive for self-development, which is the improvement of the personality, is kind of like a drive, like this divine drive, and that gets perverted by society in lots of ways.
Yeah.
And it's what makes people think that they're doing the right thing by like chasing the money and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a bizarre set of events which has created this like complex human society and what we're all born into and conditioned into.
Yeah, and also thinking in this new way, it makes you realize, it kind of lets you see the situation from like a third party, almost as if you were an alien, and you're like, oh, look at the humans, you know?
Yeah.
Look what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because before, you don't really see yourself as a human. You see yourself as like little me, and you don't see out that. You don't even see the possibility of a bigger view.
Yeah.
You're too stuck.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a bird's eye view on humanity.
Yeah. Uh, Damn, I want to like rewind what you said. You said something before. Something about the society. What was it? Something about damn it, what did you say before?
Forgot. It's gone.
Uh, oh well.
That's not
I'm
my
gonna.
strong point, remembering.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you can rewind the stream and then write it to me, and I'll.
Yeah, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not good on remembering either because I haven't had because there's been so much seeking going on for me that I haven't had time for like worldly responsibilities, and so I forget even what year it is.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Or what day it is.
Yeah, like it's 2022. I thought it was 2021, and like some like 4 months ago, I was at the shop, and you're like, when it changes year, and it's only been a week, it's kind of like okay to like get it wrong, but like, it was like October, and I was like, is this 2021? Hmm.
Yeah. I think a lot of people can relate to that, especially with the last couple of years where we've all
Oh
been
yeah,
locked
yeah.
in.
That it just exacerbated it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, well, thanks for calling in, Luca. It's lovely to speak to you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for
Yeah.
the answers. Very good. I
Yeah.
like. I had this thought. I had a nice thought. Um, because you always call spiritual teachers and things. I know you don't call yourself that, but you always call like teachers and things like that when you're feeling bad, but never when you're feeling good.
Yeah.
Like it really sucks, you know. It's like, oh man, I've got fear in my belly. Let's call Lisa. She'll she'll fix it. Yeah. It's never like, oh, I'm feeling so much joy. Let's share with Lisa. No, only when I'm suffering.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, funny.
Anyway, thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Luca. Bye.
Bye.